That's what I thought.
You own the seat.
Yeah. So you
period. Or just during football season.
Yeah, you might just get your dope man skills on and flip that thing. Flip it like a bird, cuz.
I don't know. Now look, I don't know. Now, I mean, if you had a right to that seat, right? Period.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter what's going on, then $2,500 ain't a bad deal.
Yeah, because see what he's saying? He's saying they have to offer you the seat first, the tickets first. So you buy the ticket. You talking about like a Jay-Z or something? Yeah, flip that joint, man. Get your money back.
Yeah. See, okay. Well, see, in that case, those are the things that
$2,500 for the life of the stadium? I don't know, Rob.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
No, I mean, I know. I'm not saying I don't know. I'm not saying Coop's a lie. What I'm saying is I don't know if that's a bad deal now. $2,500 for the life.
But is it really for the life? How do you? Okay, I see. I'm lost now.
No, but what he's saying is your seat license. It doesn't mean that. It means that. It doesn't mean that you go to every event there. But what he's saying is they offer you the tickets first for that seat.
Ticket first.
And if you can decline it, hey.
Well, for the life of the stadium, it seems like at some point, Arthur Blank will want to charge. Yeah, it seems like Arthur Blank then will want to charge you again.
Well, no, but I think the seat license is just for the construction of the building. Like once that's done and they get their money back for it, they don't need it anymore. They don't need to recharge you for it. I don't think. I think that's the way the deal works.
So once you pay $2,500, you never lose the license to the seat.
You know what? Because I think that's how they do it, like in Green Bay as well. Like teams like places like Green Bay. Yeah, that ain't no bad deal. That's a nice little investment.
Right. That's what I was about
to say.
Especially
if the team gets good. Yeah, that's a nice little investment. I'm not even gonna front on that.
Oh man, I mean, shoot, man, you get WrestleMania. You get WrestleMania at the new stadium, man. You'll be able to bust. You'll get way more than $2,500.
Yeah, dude. I think we getting educated today. See, this is why it's good to be interactive with the show. Like when we were doing it at first with just recording, we wouldn't have gotten this information. Yeah, now we're smart. We're two smarter human beings because.
So PSLs are not the devil.
Well, for some people though, if you ain't got the $2,500, but you do got your money for your season tickets. I can see where they'd be like, that's some BS. You know what I mean? I'm a dude that come to every Falcons game, and now that there's a new stadium, these PSLs gonna kick me in the butt. I can't afford both of them. You feel me?
Yeah,
so if I'm that guy,
I'm flipping concerts and everything.
Yeah, look at the flick of the wrist, my man. My man. All right, before we move on here, let's go ahead and get on this day out of the way. Let's go ahead and knock it out, and we'll come back and we'll do some more of this stuff. We'll talk some more about because I thought I had something else on the Atlanta Falcons as well. Oh, I do. So we'll do on this day real quick, and I'll come back and tell you what the outlook is for your team this next season is. Ugh.
And now the Sports Kings take a look back on this day.
All right, let's go ahead and get through this. On this day in 1951, the first sports event to be shown in color. Not with colors, coloreds, in color television. It was on CBS TV, was the Molly Pitcher Handicap at Oceanport, New Jersey. Assuming that's a golf tournament, because I didn't go the extra mile to see what it was. On this day in 1967, Eddie Matthews of the Houston Astros hit his 500th career home run. On this day in 1968, of course, I always leave these in, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit his 500th career home run, and if you haven't noticed by hearing our intro, he is also down with the Kings. Yes,
he does. And
Henry,
has a stat.
We call him Henry around here because we down with us like that. On this day in 1969, U.S. President Nixon signed a baseball from the Baseball Hall of Fame that had the signatures of 9 other U.S. presidents. More President Nixon news. On this day in 1970, U.S. President Nixon threw out the first ball at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. All right. I don't know why I left that in there.
Dick Nixon handling balls. Look at him.
Well, that's what he do. On this day in 1981, the All-Star Game was postponed because of a 33-day-old baseball player strike. The game was held on August 9th. Damn. Damn. On this day in 1981, U.S. President Ronald Reagan met with Willie Stargell of the Pittsburgh Pirates to discuss sickle cell anemia and funding for the National Institute of Health. And finally, on this day in 2004, the L.A. Lakers traded center Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat for who, Rob?
Lamar Odom.
Oh, who else? Oh, that's one. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't say nothing. All right.
Okay.
Who else?
Not Sean Marion. What Ryan Artest was it?
No, it was Brian.
I don't know.
It was Brian Grant. You remember Brian Grant from the
Brian Grant with the dreads.
right with the dreads, yes.
Yeah.
And Karan Butler.
Yeah.
And Karan
That's
Butler
how Karan Butler got there.
for Shaq. This is where I've developed the theory that if Shaquille O'Neal can be traded, no one's safe. I don't care who the hell you are. If you can get rid of that dude, done. Everyone's on the block at some point. Right. I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care if you're there like Kevin Durant. I don't care. LeBron, whatever. Shaq got traded. Deal with that. It don't matter to me. So, yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your Tuesday edition of On This Day. All right. There are some.
Won the championship right after that, too.
Yeah, he and old D Wade when D Wade was Flash.
Yeah.
Now he's just mash. He's a mash. Today, these NFL preseason power rankings came out from National Football Post. So it's not even like some little, snarky little blog or something. This is like real stuff. And I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff, but I was surprised as I looked at the list. I was like, all right, let's see where the Falcons are this year. The Falcons should be better this year. I think people probably think of the Falcons as a better football team this year. So I'm looking down the list. I'm looking, still looking, looking some more. And, I see the Atlanta Falcons at 25, my dude. And the explanation behind it was I'm having to pull my notes up on my tablet right now because for some reason my computer is frozen. But the explanation for it was the defense.
Unbelievable.
The defense again. Yeah, like I say, I looked at it just to be looking at it.
So we won't be quinning? So we're not going to be quinning?
Well,
they didn't predict we're going to quin?
It's preseason stuff. And like I say, the only thing about it just shocked me. You know what I mean? Because I looked at it just to look at it. I thought it was going to be something that I looked at. The Falcons were going to be somewhere around the middle of the road, 14, 15 or something like that. Now I was going, just move on. No big deal. But then the list kept going and going and going. It's like, wait a minute. Don't see the Falcons yet. Oh, here's something else that I missed from some weeks ago. Remember, I was like, Montrezl Harrell didn't get drafted. What happened was he got drafted like at the top of the second round by the Rockets. So I'm scrolling down and I'm like, I don't see his name. Well, it's because I didn't look at the top. I didn't look at the beginning. That's why. So here's the list, by the way, so you guys know. Green Bay. I'm going one. I'm starting at one. Green Bay, Seattle, the Patriots, the Colts, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Cardinals, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Detroit Lions, the Chargers, the Carolina Panthers are at 14, dude. That's where I thought I was going to see the Falcons at. Panthers are at 14. The Texans, my dude, who don't even have a quarterback, are at 15.
The Chargers.
Dude, the Miami Dolphins are at 16.
The Dolphins.
Dude,
oh, Lord.
The Giants, the Eagles, the Vikings. Who, by the way, a lot of people are picking the Vikings to do some things this year. I mean, people seem to be impressed with Teddy Bridgewater from last year. I mean, I was too. But they're figuring that now that Adrian Peterson's back, he's going to have a lot more one-on-one coverage on the outside. And they got Mike Wallace now up there. But you still got Cordero Patterson. And someone is convinced these dudes that he is not just a kick returner. Yeah. Fool. The joke's on you. The Saints are at 21. The Rams are at 22. The Jets, dude, are at 23. What the hell, man? The 49ers, who everybody on their team has retired. Everyone is gone. They're gonna play with like 9 people this year. They're gonna just change the game. And then you have the Atlanta Falcons at 25. Jesus Christ, just over the Browns and the Raiders and the Redskins. This says the Falcons still have problems with the defensive and offensive line. Those are true concerns. However, the draft gave them a chance to rebuild somewhat. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are still there, though. So at least this team can be entertaining, if not good. Wow. I don't think it means anything. Again, I was just surprised. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm thinking like, all right, last year was kind of an aberration. And Rob will tell you, the conversation that we had before the last game. When I was like, yeah, man, the Falcons going to win. Rob was like, MF or please. Rob was like, no, hell they ain't. I was like, come on, dude. It's the Panthers. They can beat the Panthers. Wasn't it at home?
Yeah.
I was like, they're at home. Yeah, they're going to beat the Panthers and go to the playoffs. And everything will be all right. Rob was like, N-word, you must be crazy. I was like, no, I'm not. Why are you calling me that? But he was right, and I was absolutely wrong. They got embarrassed by Cam Newton and no wide receivers.
It's something about Cam Newton versus the Falcons. Like, and I hate when people say, "Oh, yeah, he always shows up to take on his home team," but every time Cam Newton is seen, I think I don't know what his record is versus Atlanta. But he's given the Falcons fits, the majority of the time that they played him.
But there was that game, the one that you were running down the mirror, the Matt Ryan bomb, the Roddy at midfield. The game was pretty much over.
Oh, that was awesome.
And they kicked the field goal. Y'all should have seen Rob. We're at work. Rob is running down the hallways, yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs. It's like game 7 of the season, like some regular season game. It's so ridiculous. But, again, I don't know what to make of this list. Only thing that I do take away from it is that it's National Football Post. It's a site and a resource that I go to for a lot of pertinent information as far as football goes. So it's not like, like Jerome's blog and here's what I think. Nah, it's just, it was just alarming that here we are going to a new season.
Well, it depends on what Jerome it is. If it's a white man named Jerome, I might.
Of course, I'm not talking about a white man. I'm talking about an N-word. Matt says they're sleeping on the run game this year. You know what, Matt? I don't think it's that they're sleeping on the run game because I like the Freeman kid. What's the kid's name with the broken leg, Rob, that's coming back this year?
Yeah, Anton Smith.
Yeah, every time he touches the ball, it's like a 40-yard touchdown. That kid.
Home run.
They got the kid from Indiana in the draft. The running backs are going to be good, but the issue then becomes the guys up front. And I think that is the concern of most people who aren't, close to the situation and, outside looking in. They're looking at an offensive line who Justin Blaylock is gone, Sam Baker's gone, the Matthews kid is in his second year, defensively. You've got the kid you drafted last year out of Minnesota. O.C. Umenyor is gone, thankfully. But Jonathan Massaquoi is gone. There's a rebuilding type of situation going on both sides of the football, and that's going to show its ugly face in more ways than one, not just in the running game. But
why O.C. couldn't have blew up his fingers while he was playing?
Wow, I don't wish that on anybody, dude. I don't. O.C. Umenyor is just a bad football player. I don't know that he's just a bad guy. I wish he'd blow up his fingers. I don't think he's a terrible human being. He just couldn't play football.
No, I didn't say he was terrible. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would have kept him on the pup or on the whatever.
But he wouldn't have a finger, Rob. You want this man not to have a finger so that he'd be on the pup?
Living a nice life. Randy Lot's living a nice life with 9 fingers.
You know what? It's not 9 fingers. He cut the tip off of his pinky. It's not 9 fingers.
He got that finger amputated. He only got 9.
Well, still, by choice. If I'm sure if you gave Jason Pierre-Paul the choice, he'd have all 10 digits. You know what I mean? Ronnie Lott did that because, first of all, I'd have to believe cocaine played a part in that. It was the 80s. Wasn't it the late 80s? 89, yeah. Cocaine, Ronald Reagan, crack, AIDS, all those things in play. Yeah, dude. When dude just said, you know what, I want to play this game so bad.
That was George Bush.
Just cut my finger off.
Same thing.
Wait, what?
Same thing, right.
No. What do you mean, cut my finger off? No. I'm about to go back here and see this trainer, right, and figure out what kind of surgery me and Dr. James Andrews, because, of course, he was doing surgeries back then, too. What kind of surgery and rehab we going to do for me to save my pinky? He must be crazy. But Ronnie Lott, Hall of Famer. And then, too, the money wasn't right back then. The money wasn't right. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he's getting like guapped up like they are today. Yeah, Ronnie Lott was getting paid pennies compared to now. For my finger? Yeah, I think I'm good on that.
Yeah, well, Dr. James Andrews was definitely practicing back then. He's 72. That's what I keep telling you. Like, this dude is so old, man. Like, I don't even think they let regular surgeons practice at this age. Like, I think he's just overseeing these surgeries at this point.
He the best. Shoot, get money, dude. All right.